Stop recording.
Hey everybody, so I feel like
Speech off.
I'm really fucking upset and like kind of feeling like really down and fucking hopeless and stuff because gaming is everything to me. There are a few passions I have in my life, and that's gaming, my ancestors, um, spirituality, Satanism, goth stuff, kink, and reaching out to the trans community when I'm doing these videos and stuff, because I'm a blind trans girl that's also a lesbian, so it's like, we don't have too many of us that are into these kinds of things, and I feel like just giving up gaming forever, like, because I don't have a PS4 and I have an Xbox One, and even though, like, okay, I have the mind and like emotions of like a fucking teenager, and it is what it is. Like, people either accept me or they don't, and everyone's different, and it's not like a big kid thing. It's like almost a literal thing. Like, but I take care of business when I have to. I do adult stuff because I have to. You just have to. And my chill out me time, just to wind down, try to get away from everything that's fucking my head, or because on a daily basis, I suffer from a lot of different feels and triggers and shit that make me want to go MIA, and a lot of the time I do, and I'm not going to apologize for that because that's not something you apologize for. That's, yeah, my videos have a sporadic pattern, and yes, I've posted more this year, not as much as I would have liked to been, but you know what, there's at least a few months left in the year, so that means that I can post quite a bit, and I'm not worried about it because I know I will. Like I said, I feel I've posted more than last year, definitely, and I'm happy with that. I have gotten I've gotten some other news which I'll cover in another video. So anyway, like, I bought these games because I really wanted to play them. The problem is 2K is a bunch of assholes. Like, they don't give a shit about disabled gamers whatsoever, and they're probably one of the idiots like that think, oh, there's no money in disabled gamers. Yeah, there is. Do you know how many people love wrestling games? Do you know how many people love wrestling? They're disabled. A shitload of us, and that's money you could be making off of us. So therefore, it kind of benefits you guys to like actually put accessibility features in your shit. I will make another video explaining what they could be doing. But yeah, it's that kind of shit that just makes me want to quit gaming, because like, even with other games too, like, and I'll do another video on that too, but I'll mention that even the fighting games, like, fighting games is used to be like a blind person's go-to. And it seems to me that Injustice and the new Mortal Kombat have visual elements that make it so that we can, like, barely win, like, half the time. Put it like this: 20 to 5% to 25% of the time. If you're going to be sitting on your ass for hours and you have no time, you could win eventually. Like, it's going to take you forever. Like, because apparently there's stuff that you can't see visually that influences like what the fuck you're doing or whatever. Like, it's hard to describe. But yeah, I'll cover that another time. And the reason I mentioned like I'm a fucking teen mentally and emotionally is because as much as I love fucking like Minecraft Dungeons and all that shit, like my problem is they're the only accessible games on Xbox, and I don't want to play wrestling games and fighting games, and they're no longer accessible. And wrestling games have never been accessible, but once upon a time they were a little bit easier for me to play. And I will explain that on retro like wrestling games another time too, because that's the whole different topic. Fighting games used to be pretty easy, like to fight, like to play with. And it's like all of a sudden, like, did somebody give them a fucking pill or something, or a drug, or like a fucking note that says, here, make this shit like 10 times as stupid and overly visual so no blind gamer can play it? What kind of fucking shit is that? Seriously. Like, there is money in us disabled gamers, and you need to fucking wake up and smell the coffee, guys. Like, seriously. Sorry, my allergies are bothering my asthma. Like, seriously, like, my heart goes out to Naughty Dog. They, from what I read the article from Cool Blind Tech, I want that game so bad. They, like, made... Okay, so when you go into, like, accessibility settings, they have settings for blind people, deaf people, yes, deaf people game, and people with, like, limited mobility, like if you're one-handed, or if you have cerebral palsy, or whatever the fuck. And I was like, holy shit. And then I kept going, holy shit, even more as I'm reading the article. This is a few months ago. Yeah, I know I'm late on posting this shit. And fuck. So basically, I'm so tired. I've been awake for like a day and a half. Fuck me. Yeah, it's not that I chose to stay awake for that long. Insomnia is a bitch. So when you toggle the blind option, right, in the accessibility settings, now this isn't like a wrestling game or a fighting game. So there's like multiple like choices, and this is so cool. You can toggle on different features that help it make it easier for blind people to play. And the same one, I think the same thing goes for like the other accessibility stuff, but I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was for like deaf gamers or, you know, limited mobility people, whatever. God, fuck. But like they've got options under the visual impairment thing. It's like, in, you know, so you don't like die underwater kind of shit, because we don't do great with like timers and stuff. It's difficult. Like if you're underwater kind of thing. Then they have a ledge guard, which is so fucking helpful. That is something that motherfuckers like of the Tomb Raider games should seriously release like patches or updates or something, and include these settings in every fucking Tomb Raider game for, like, let's say Legend and up, like Legend, Underworld, Anniversary, you know, that fucking, people say it's a reboot, but really I don't see it as a reboot. I just see it as like another game in the timeline, um, but way farther back, even before like Natla. And yes, I am a big Tomb Raider fan. I remember when they first came out with that fucking game. Well, actually, I didn't know when they first came out with it, but I got my hands on the very first Tomb Raider game when I was like, I don't know. I'm sorry, 14 and a half years old. And I had better sight then, and it was so much fun. I could never beat it, but it was like really fun to do this stuff. I beat one level and actually no wait, I beat 2 levels and I got that weird gold key and the other key and the fucking bears, and there was bears all over the fucking place. There was yeah, there was this one fucking trap thing you had to get past, like all the swinging fucking pendulum things that'll slice you. Anyway, and I mentioned Tomb Raider because I did buy like the Tomb Raider, like the new modern gen Tomb Raider games to see if I could play them, and sadly I can't. So I'm not happy about that. It's like every fucking game I play, you know, people don't give a fuck, and that's fucked up. Like, there's definitely money in us, and you know, gaming for a lot of people, especially disabled people or mentally ill people or just plain old, you know, mental, like people who have mentals like me, um, it's an escape. It's a way to cope. It's a really good mechanism, especially for people like my bro, who he's not bio-related, but we kind of adopted each other because our families are shit. I've known him for 13 years, but gaming helps him not punch people in the fucking face. Because, like, 95% of people we've met through our lifetimes are pieces of utter shit. So yeah. And if you can tell, I'm a misanthropic bitch. But I'm not outright mean. I just don't like most people because they turn me off. Yeah. So The Last of Us 2 has the ledge guard. It can turn off the puzzles, but I would try to do the puzzles before turning that off because I feel like it's kind of a part of the game. On top of that, there's an option to help you, like, it'll tell you when you find your target. Like, let's say you're trying to shoot someone or something, and it'll actually tell you when you have found that, and that's fucking amazing. Like, I even think motherfuckers are like Call of Duty and Halo and Gears of War and all these fucks need to like adopt the Last of Us 2 model. So yeah, this video is so gonna be called like thinking of giving up gaming, and gamers need to adopt The Last of Us 2 accessibility. Okay, but yeah, this video is like done. I just needed to get that shit off my chest, and I will see you all soon. Stay safe, and yeah. Alright.
Speech on. Stop. Camera. Stop.